back, Tam Fam. So when pivotal life moments or mistakes make headlines, there's always more to the story, and I always believe a lesson to be learned. Our next guest found that out very clearly and very early in her career. And now she's the most decorated snowboarder in history. Lindsey Jacobellis is a two-time Olympic gold medalist, 31-time World Cup gold medalist, 10-time X Games gold medalist, and a 6-time world champion. Sounds like a lot, right? Sounds like big moves, right? Well, let me tell you, in her Olympic debut in 2006, at just 20 years old, she made a mistake that would follow her, as she puts it, like a black cloud. With a commanding lead in the women's snowboard cross event, she was almost certain to take home the gold. But right before the finish line, Lindsey did a trick and fell. She called the move spontaneous and random. Commentators and angry fans called it showboating. It cost her the gold and so much more. And Lindsey is now sharing her story in her own words in a revealing new memoir. It's called Unforgiving: Lessons from the Fall. In it, she writes, "I suspect I'll never fully shake it. And what stays with me most of all is that way people were so quick to write me off just on the back of this one terrible, regrettable rookie mistake." Joining us to talk about her story and the many things she accomplished after that moment, please welcome Lindsey Jacobellis. Oh my God. Congratulations. First of all, let me just tell you, the cover alone makes me smile. Even before you see the words, that beautiful, bright, just celebratory moment, Beijing 2022. But that was a long way from 2006, a day that really defined your career for a very long time. For those who don't recall it front of mind, we're gonna play it for you, this moment that just had everyone talking, but not knowing the whole story. Take a look. The New York Times called it the saddest snow angel in the Alps. South Florida Sun Sentinel said, for Lindsey Jacobellis, there is shame in silver. You wrote in your book, for years afterward, people would come up to me and ask me what the hell I was thinking, grabbing my board like that. First of all, I'm always so struck by how cruel people can be. And how cruel I'm a journalist, and sometimes I read these headlines like the one that was written. It said she was trying to draw attention to herself, and now Lindsey Jacobellis will forever be remembered for it. That writer was wrong, because you're remembered for all of the things that I named that you accomplished.
That was such a devastating moment. I was 20 years old. This was the first time my sport has been in the Olympics, and I was built up to be America's sweetheart. I was winning everything. My journey to gold seemed in hand. And they were it seemed almost excited to pull me down and make me feel that. And to have that shame hold so long in my career, I had to do so much work to get myself back and to be accepting myself and forgiving myself to move on. And I chose the book to be named Unforgiving for it meant so much to me, that word. And the first part of it was the media was so unforgiving to me. But then I was so unforgiving to myself because I started to accept their narrative, what they were calling me. And every Olympic cycle, I'd be doing really, really well in the buildup. And then they'd loop back to that narrative and almost just didn't even give me a chance to be in the best mental mindset to go for a chance to gold.
To win. So to get back in the mental mindset, it seems like in the book, you had to explore the lessons, right? And to get the lesson, you got to go back to the moment.
I had to face it.
You had to face that moment.
Yes.
You said it was spontaneous. You weren't sure. What was it?
Nothing came about it in my mind. It was not thinking about, ooh, if I'm in the lead, I'm going to do a celebratory grab. It literally came at that moment. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in the lead. I could do something fun. It was just, that's what snowboarders did. We celebrated when we're having great moments. It's
Because I
part
was
of our
thinking
sport.
that. I'm thinking, you know, I've seen snowboarding and there's this rebellious energy to it in general. You know, the kids that were kept out of the Olympics and then you made your way and to be respected in the world of sports. And I did think, like, look, football players, you see those big rehearsed lines. I'm like, I know you practice that dance all night long in the mirror. Because there's no way you spontaneously know a whole routine. But you're singular. You're by yourself. There's not like a collective, you know, group of friends coming out with a routine. It's by yourself. You're going at a rate of speed. To me, I would just be so afraid to think of anything other than going through. But I'm the novice. You're the pro. So you're in your zone.
Yeah,
The energy, the air, you're in the zone.
Absolutely, but it takes one moment, one split second for anything to go wrong. And if I'm not ready in that particular moment, it's not going to come together. And this was just a huge mistake. It was just unfortunately on this world stage that it happened,
You
and
talked
that I had to face
about in the book, you competed in the Olympics again, 2010, 2014, 2018. Each time you left without a medal. 16 years after that, at age 36, you finally won gold. 36 years old. You know, I don't know what faith or what you practice, but when I hear that, I was like, we don't get to pick the time. Something bigger and larger than us says it's time.
Absolutely.
And it was time to get that goal. Look at that smile.
You know, my mom always says, things happen for a reason, and sometimes in the moment you can't see the big picture, you can't understand it, and I'd rack my brain over and over, be like, there's a bigger meaning, what's the meaning? I can't see it now, and I still love the sport, and I wanted to keep plugging away at it and not give up on myself, and there was times, granted, there were times, I'd be like, maybe it's done. I've been beat up enough. I've had enough surgeries, maybe after this Olympic season. But I didn't want to make that rash decision to be like, okay, after the Olympics, like, it's done. I was like, maybe I'll do one more season, see if I still have that energy. And sure enough, you just needed that reset. The Olympic buildup and the press or the pressure.
Oh,
that
I
was
went
put
to the
on
London.
athletes.
I can't. The press at the Olympic Games. I spent a month in London. It is intense, but you came out on top. Congratulations on everything you've earned. And be sure to pick up a copy of Lindsey's new book. It's called Unforgiving, Lessons from the Fall. It's available now. Tam Fam, you're all going home with Lindsey's book.